that's us.
Hey, Micah. Yeah, they're bright. You were so bright at the start. They really hoping that the game comes to that, because that makes sense.
I think it's hilarious, Brian. Celebrate. We have all this space around here. We've got down there where you can watch through no fence. And we got all these people that stand around us. Like, what the hell?
What are
I
we
feel
doing?
like I'm crowded. I'm all kinds of crowded over here.
Maybe we start customers swearing. We attract a crowd. Yeah, I think I'm going to start this.
Yeah.
Pregame. Looks like they're ready to roll here.
Okay.
It's live. You're live?
And now, Lictus Oil and Propane and Clymer presents Clymer Sherman Panama Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by J. Edwards Insurance in Panama and Jamestown, by Damon Energy, DamonEnergy.com, Northwestern Hardwoods, First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown, Sherman Livestock, by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery in Sherman, Triple E Manufacturing, EEMFG.com, Custom Shipping Products in Clymer, Countertop Solutions, White Land Surveying in Clymer, and by Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer, LictusOilAndPropane.com. And now let's head to the field for all the action of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play.
And good afternoon, Wolfpack fans, as we bring you live action from Bemis Point, New York at the site of the Maple Grove Elementary School. As we have the CSP Wolfpack taking on the Maple Grove Red Dragons here this afternoon on a beautiful Friday the 13th here in Western New York that is going to feature two of the best teams in Class C and D that this state has to offer. So, Kyle, let's get your thoughts today.
Yeah, it should be an exciting game. It helps that the weather's beautiful, and but you have, to your point, Brian, you've got two of the best teams in Western New York playing against each other today, and couldn't have asked for a nicer day. We've got a little bit of a report from Maple Grove coaching staff that they've had some issues with COVID for the past 3 days or so. So we got a couple, I guess I got 3 starters out, which will mean that we will not see Tucker Fenton today. Tucker Fenton, the what could be one of the best pitchers in the state of New York, and he is on his way in the fall to St. Bonaventure, and he's got unfortunately COVID. So and I guess there's 2 other kids. So a little bit of a depleted lineup for Maple Grove today, but they still can trot out. I'll take their second best 9 over a lot of teams' best 9 any day of the week. So it should still be a competitive game for CSP Maple Grove today.
Yeah, as we we're looking forward to facing a full roster here. Of course, Maple Grove made their way over to Clymer on Monday, and Tucker Fenton with a big game, complete game, 19 strikeouts I believe he had, and just thoroughly befuddled the Wolfpack hitters, and so we kind of had this one circled on the calendar as we were hoping to be able to get back at him here, and it's just really unfortunate. I think everybody's just really sick of this COVID stuff, and we just wish nothing but the best for Tucker and the rest of the Maple Grove team as they work their way through it. It's happened in other sports throughout the last couple years, and there's nothing saying that it won't affect the Wolfpack here at some point. So far, we've been lucky and dodged the bullet, so to speak. But anyway, we're going to go here, and Maple Grove is going to start with Kendall McCall on the mound, big number 18, left-hander.
Caden.
I think McCall. Can't even read my own writing.
Caden McCall, and we did see him on Monday night, Brian.
Colton McCall.
Colton McCall. We did see him on
I thought he was
Monday night over in Clymer. He came in and finished out the game for Maple Grove. He's a lefty, so it's we don't see lefties a lot. And the last time CSP saw a lefty was against Westfield, and our left-handed hitting players, which we've got 3 of our top 4 in the order are left-handed. They really struggled, and that's a different look coming out of the other side of the body for the pitcher, and a little bit more difficult for the left-handed hitters to pick the ball coming up out of the left-hander's hand.
So here we go, top of the first inning. Left-handed hitting Austin White against left-handed throwing Colton McCall. First ball, low and outside. And we mentioned this in the broadcast on Monday. Maple Grove, even though they're a little depleted, there's still plenty of pitching staff and hitters in this lineup. So don't let that fool you. Ball too low to Austin. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the first inning here, just getting started in Maple Grove. Like we said, just an absolutely gorgeous day and a gorgeous week for baseball this week. We've certainly deserved it.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, we're going to, based on early indications, it looks like we might be okay for next week as well.
There's a called strike. Two and one now to Austin as he waits for the pitch from Colton McCall. And there's one. Austin takes a rip at it. It's going to be on the left field line. Third baseman makes a nice attempt at it, but that's going to end up out of play. Number 7, big third baseman Connor Regal attempts to navigate the fence and make a Sports Center type grab. It's just out of his reach, though. So the count remains 2-2 to Austin. As we do have a scoreboard here at Maple Grove, which is going to help me keep things in order here.
As long as the scoreboard is right.
Yes.
Right, Brian?
Yeah. Big curve ball. And for those of you watching on Facebook, we don't have quite the vantage point we had last night in Panama, but we like the backstop approach better than the sidelines. So we're trying it, looking through the fence here, and we know it's not great. That's a ball 4. So we take our leadoff batter, Austin White, and he trots down to first base, courtesy of a walk, and we got our first base runner of the afternoon.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, we talked a little bit about it on Monday night. Maple Grove is not they've not been challenged a lot this year, and they've not had a lot of base runners. And so I think if you're CSP, little pass ball here. If you're a CSP, you want to, particularly early in this game, you want to try to get base runners and runs across the plate. That will put Maple Grove in a situation that they really have not been in all year long, just because they've been so dominant, really against everybody that they've played.
Yeah, I think we said on the broadcast on Monday they were like 77 runs for and 2 against. There's a great bump by Bryce Hinsdale, doing his job with a sacrifice. Moved Austin White over to third base. Caught everybody sleeping there. Kind of hate to have an out, but he got his job accomplished and got a little small ball going here as he moves Austin White over. Job well done for Bryce Hinsdale.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing a little bit of that early on here, Brian, that CSP and Coach Moreno, that kind of highlights you have a pretty good bat in Bryce that in theory took the bat out of his hand, but that's what we wanted to do. We want to generate, we want to move the base runners over. Now any sort of sacrifice fly or anything to the right hand side of the field is going to score a run, and I think it highlights how CSP sees the importance of getting runs early.
Yeah, I know the Chautauqua Lake team came in here last night, and I believe they actually gave up 6 runs to Chautauqua Lake last night, which like tripled their output. And there's a deep ball by Gabe Roth. That one is deep. Center fielder comes up with it. Austin White tags, and he's going to score easily from the deep fly ball from Gabe Roth. So that's going to be an RBI for Austin. As he crosses the plate, an RBI for Gabe Roth on the sacrifice fly to center field, and just like that, we got our first run of the inning.
Yeah, and that's boy. If you were to draw that whole thing up, Brian, that's about how you draw it up. You have a guy at second, you get him over to third with a bunt, and then your third hitter gets some sort of contact, which Gabe did, and he drove it really deep. Deep center is 320, looks like about 325 feet, and he got most of that.
Micah hits a hard line drive toward the shortstop. He comes up with it, fields it cleanly, and that's going to retire the side. But not before the Wolfpack pushes across the run, so that's going to make the score CSP 1, Maple Grove 0 as we enter the middle part of the first inning. We'll be right back.
On the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957. Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
And welcome back to live action here from Maple Grove Elementary School, where the CSP Wolfpack are up 1-0 over Maple Grove as we enter the bottom half of the first inning here. It's going to bring Jake Valancourt to the plate for Maple Grove. Jake playing third base today for the Red Dragons.
Yeah, and Bryce Hinsdale gets the start on the mound today, Brian. I think both of us would have probably put $100 down on Monday to say that we would see Tucker Fenton and Gabe Roth tonight. And
that's why the casinos are big in Vegas.
That's right. And we see neither one of them. Tucker out due to COVID and Gabe starting in center field tonight.
Two 2-0 to Jake Valancourt, following up a nice freshman outing last night by Tate Catney. So freshmen's back-to-back starters here for the Wolfpack. A lot of good things coming here. There's a little high and outside. 3-0 to Valancourt, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to watch because if Bryce misses, Bryce is going to miss high and outside. And what has he done? He's missed high and outside in 3 straight pitches. So, and that's not a great way to start if you're Bryce Hinsdale.
4-pitch walk to Jake Valancourt as he makes his way down to first base. He's going to bring up number 2, Jackson Gowan, who is traditionally their catcher, but today he's playing third base. And he's outside again.
We'll see how aggressive Maple Grove wants to be today. They've got Valancourt's athletic kid with a lot of speed, and
there's one way outside. Micah jumps up out of his stance, keeps it from going to the backstop. So something slightly just a miss here with Bryce as he gets started. First 6 pitches, 6 balls here, but we'll look to right the ship here.
Yeah, and I watched him in warm-ups, Brian. He didn't throw a single strike in warm-up, so that's not a good.
And there's one.
That's not a good omen. So let's see if we can figure it out here.
2 balls and 1 strike now to Jackson Gowan, the number 2 hitter. Valancourt on first base. No outs here, bottom of the first inning. And that one sails wide. 3-1 now to Jackson Gowan. You can probably hear the wind in the microphones right out of the south. And there's one hit by Gowan out towards center field. It's going to be a gapper that's going to chase Gabe Roth to the fence. They're going to send Valancourt around home. They're going to hold the throw. No, they're not. They are going to throw it. Good backup by Bryce. Now they got him on a rundown over here. And they got him out. But not before he has an RBI single. But he's going to try and make his way to third base, and he's going to be out as a result of the tag. Nice throw from Bryce Hinsdale over there, so that's going to clear the bases. But not before Jake Valancourt does cross on the RBI single by Jackson Gowan. Actually, RBI double on that one.
Yeah, he
hit that one to the fence.
Yeah, he hit that one hard, right to the gap. For those on Facebook Live, you could probably see that pretty well, but right between the center field and left fielder, and he hit it hard on a line drive, and nice piece of hitting, and just got caught up there between second and third there.
So this is going to bring up senior Connie Negan. Takes the first ball outside. There's another one outside. Seems to be missing high and outside here.
Yeah.
See if we can't get that zeroed in just a little bit closer. There's one high. 3-0 now to the number 3 batter, Kynan Egan, who's today's catcher from Maple Grove. Once again, one down here, bottom of the first, 1-1. There's a called strike. Good pitch there.
Yeah, Bryce has got to make them hitters here. They, you got seven players behind you for a reason, and so looking to Maple Grove is too good to give walks, and that now starts a 2 out of 3 get base on ball and a batter with a hard hit. So it.
This is going to bring first baseman Colin McPherson to the plate. Colin, a junior out of Maple Grove. 1 on, 1 down here, bottom of the first. 1-1. Ball high and outside.
Yeah, Bryce is he just has no idea right now where the strike zone is, and so that's let's see if he can mentally figure out what he's doing wrong.
There's another one that flies outside. 2-0 now to McPherson.
But he is
something is a little
something
amiss.
is off. Something is definitely off.
And there's one that looked a little better. 2 balls and 1 strike now to the hitter McPherson, the cleanup hitter. 2-1 to McPherson. McPherson pops one up. It's going to be a good, tough play for Trent Berchanowski coming out of his second base position. And they do get the force out at second because the base runner had to not know if there was going to be a force or not. They couldn't tell. That was going to be a tough play. It was kind of hitting a no man's land behind the first baseman, shortstop, right fielder triangle. And it did fall to the ground, but they smartly grabbed it up and threw it over to Austin White, who was standing on second and got the force out.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for the first base runner, Brian.
Yeah. What do you do?
It's a pop-up. It was in an odd spot, but probably it was in a spot where you had to really wait to see if they were going to catch it. And by the time that ball hit the ground, he wasn't far enough, and we got the lead runner at second.
So that's 2 down now. Andrew Auer up, center fielder for Maple Grove. 1 ball, no strikes to Auer. There's another one high and outside. And there's a good pitch. swing and a miss for Andrew Auer on the low strike by Bryce Hinsdale. That was going to be close on striker ball, and he took a swing at it and missed. So now it's 2-1 to Andrew Auer. 2 down here, bottom of the first inning. And there's another swing and a miss, strike 2. And now he's looking like he's finding his groove a little bit. 2-2 to Auer.
2 outs here. CSP ground ball going to first or second base with it.
That one popped up and out of play behind us here.
Souvenir for us, Brian.
Yeah, had one last night. They made me give it back. Said they only bring so many balls. I watched the Major League guys. They got dozens and dozens. 2-2 now to Auer. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So after kind of a little bit of a shaky start, Bryce gets the ship righted and gets the 3rd out of the inning via strikeout to Andrew Auer. But that's going to leave 1 runner on base. They did push 1 across, 1 hit, no errors. Score is going to be 1-1 after 1 here in beautiful Bemis Point, New York. And we'll be right back. Computer shut off.
Did? We still got power over here.
Yeah, I still got power here. I'm not sure what's going on. It's just starting back up now. Oh, I came unplugged. Where's the... Yep, we need that. That plugs in up there. I have no idea. There we go. Now we're good.
Test. Yep.
Yep.
For those watching online or listening online, we had a little bit of a technical issue here, but we're working through it, and it's like simply a cord coming unplugged. So we'll get that plugged back in, and we'll be on our way. But just set the stage here. You've got top of the second, CSP 1, Maple Grove 1. And both teams getting a run across in the first inning. Both teams hitting the ball well and taking advantage of some little shakiness on the mound, particularly for CSP.
So Trent Berchanowski makes his way to the plate for the Wolfpack, quickly behind 0-1, and there's a hit. That's going to be a good hard play. He's going to have to hustle, and Trent does. He runs out that first little dribbler toward the shortstop, and Trent's going to be aboard via a little dribbler to the shortstop. Trent runs it out, and he's got himself an infield hit.
Well, there it is, Brian. That's an example of the shortstop playing so deep in high school baseball, and the shortstop there, who happens to be Jackson Gowan, just a little bit didn't charge that probably as quickly as the coaching staff would like. Gave Trent, who's got a lot of speed, a fair amount of, at least enough time to get to be safe at first. So for the second straight inning, CSP has their leadoff man aboard.
As Curtis Olson makes his way to the plate, 1-0 to Curtis. As a throw over to first base, Trent safely back.
Curtis last night, Brian, hit probably one of the furthest baseballs I've seen in a long time in high school baseball. It was dead center in Panama, cleared the fence.
And that one gets away from the throw down to first, but the right fielder promptly scoops it up, staying awake out there in right field, which is sometimes hard to do, and he collects the ball and gets it back to the infield. So it's going to be 2-0 to Curtis. Trent stays at first base and give an assist to the right fielder that was staying awake there.
Yeah.
Curtis with a foul right down the first baseline, about took out Coach White. 2 balls and 1 strike to Curtis Olson.
We could use another one of those home runs that Curtis hit last night.
Yeah,
we could use that
people
right
out
here.
there
People,
today
yeah,
to catch it. And I think the fence in Panama is a little deeper than 3 1/4.
I think so.
And there's a ball high. 3-1 to Curtis Olson here. Once again, Trent Birchanowski on first base. No outs here, top of the second inning. 3-1 to Curtis Olson. And Curtis hits one to the right side, got through the hole, and that's going to be another single for Curtis Olson. Not a hard hit, but it got Seeing Eye Dog out there and made its way out to the outfield, so that advances Trent over to second base, Curtis on first, and that's going to bring up Tate Catneys, Ian Dunewald. That was a left field position. That was
a number right off the end of the bat, Brian.
Yep.
To be honest with you, and he and it just because we had Trent at first, that was forcing the second baseman closer to second base, and because of that, Ian puts down
Ian
a bunt
Dunewald,
here.
the sacrifice bunt extraordinaire, and he's going to be safe over there as they pulled his feet off the base at first base. And so that's going to be an infield hit for Ian Dunewald via a bunt. And a little miscue over there. And once again, put the ball in play and good things happen, Kyle.
Yeah, that's we talk a lot about that, Brian, particularly at the high school level. You want to make contact and put pressure on the defense. And again, this is unusual territory for Maple Grove. Now, they are playing the infield way in, hoping for a ground ball here and to come home with it. And typically do not see this early in the game. But
yeah,
I think
they got both feet, all of them, on the grass.
But I think everybody realizes that runs are going to come at a premium.
And Tate hits one in the gap between left and left center, and that's going to bring a bunch of runs in. Tate looking for 2 RBI single for Tate Catneys. Pushes across Trent Birchanowski and Curtis Olson on a very well-hit ball to left center field for the 9th grader. Ian Dunewald trots his way down to second. Tate's got himself a deep single to left center field. And just like that, 2 more runs for the Wolfpack, Kyle.
Yeah, and Tate had a great game last night. I think I talked to him a little bit afterwards, and his comment was, I got to get my hitting going. And I think whatever he did overnight and during the day today, he got it fixed because he smoked that right to the gap in left center and scored 2 runs for CSP. Still leaves us with a man on first and second with no outs here in the top of the second.
That's going to bring up Caden Beckrink, who's also looking to bunt, pulls the ball back as that was going to be a ball. Good eye there by Caden Beckrink, who has really kind of come into his own here. Okay, the appeal down to the field umpire to see if Caden got that bunt pulled back, and he said he did. So 1-0 to Caden. Shows bunt again, and that one gets it down perfectly. And again, a little misplay. As the third baseman came running in, he was there in plenty of time, but when he went to scoop it up barehanded, the ball kind of went down in the grass, and he kind of skimmed right over top of it. So once again, just a little miscue. And we've got 2 bunts for singles.
A little sloppy here for Maple Grove, having difficulty with this with the bunting, and so we'll see now. CSP with the bases loaded, and still again no outs here in the top of the second.
Austin White takes one ball high, and I'm not making excuses for anything, but anytime you have 2 of your top flight starters out for any reason in baseball, you're going to have struggles because guys are going to be playing in positions maybe they haven't normally. And Austin drills one to right center field. Right fielder in with it quickly, makes a good play out there, but that's going to be 2 RBIs on the single to right field for Austin White. And CSP is in business here in the second inning as we now have Austin White on first, Caden Beckrink on second. A bunch of singles we're stringing together here, Kyle. That's 5-6 singles in a row for the Wolfpack, and that's going to score 4 runs, leaving 2 on base still no outs. And Bryce Hinsdale, left-handed hitting Bryce Hinsdale, coming to the plate.
Yeah, just fundamentally good baseball for CSP. Not.
And there's a called strike. Bryce looked like he was going to try and bunt that around, which has been pretty successful for the Wolfpack here today. Pulled it back, but it's a called strike. And there's another called strike. Now that you got the infield kind of pulled in a little bit, now's the time to lay that little bloop single over their heads.
Yeah, yep.
First and second, no outs here. Bryce Hinsdale at the bat. And ball a little low, I'm going to guess. Hit the dirt.
Good block by the catcher Egan today. That's an example, Brian. Egan, I do not believe is their everyday regular catcher.
And Bryce fouls one off. No, and I believe that's correct. To my knowledge, Jackson Gowan has been their all-star catcher for the most part for the year.
And Egan is typically plays center field, and if you recall Monday night, he made a great play, a lot of speed.
Yep.
And so again, to your point earlier, it forces.
And swinging, drop, strike 3. He's out. And now we're going to get Caden Beckerink on trying to figure out if he needed to go or stay, and they got him caught in a pickle between first, second, and third, and he gets tagged out. So that's actually going to be 2 outs on the drop third strike as Caden Beckerink also gets tagged out. So now we got 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. That's going to bring Gabe Roth up as Austin White over at first base, promptly back. Gabe with an RBI double in the first inning. And he fouls one back behind us here. On to the golf course.
Yeah, I drove by the golf course earlier, Brian. Didn't look like there was a ton of people playing, which I'm a little surprised about. But
yeah, it's gorgeous. There's a breaking ball called on the outside corner. It's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gabe.
Maple Grove trying to get out of this top of the second. It's been a little bit of a helter-skelter inning for them, and where they've given up 4 runs here. And
now we're going. There's a ball thrown to second, but that's not in time, and Austin White's going to be in there. Stolen base for Austin White. And now we got throwing it around the infield a little bit, and I'm not sure exactly what transpired there, but the ball ended up against the backstop, but Austin White had looked down to kind of.
Yeah, I think
time was out anyway.
Yeah, I think Austin called time when he.
Yeah, and that would make sense because he was actually cleaning the dirt out of his pants, so that would make sense that he had called time. So the ball going to the backstop had nothing to do. He was going to be in timeout. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Gabe. And he hits another one, a line drive shot right at the left fielder, though, who's got his back against the fence. Really well hit for Gabe, but the left fielder had him played pretty well. And that's going to be the end of the second inning for the Wolfpack, but not before they push across 4 big runs, Kyle.
Yep.
And that's going to be on 6 hits. And we did leave 1 on base, but that's going to make the score 5-1 as we enter the middle part of the second inning here. And we'll be right back.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods. 716-234-4002 or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook.
If you could do something today that could save someone's life, would you do it? If it didn't cost you a dime and only took a little time and could literally save a life, would you do it? Can you believe that only 3% of people say yes to this? How's that possible? That's the real percentage of people who give blood. It's something you can do whether you're a millionaire, middle class, or completely poor. There's no fee and it's easy to do. And you can literally save a life. Let's roll up our sleeves and make a difference. Give blood. We can do better than 3%. Learn more at redcrossblood.org.
Funding for coverage of CSP baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech Robert Leonard from Panama installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook.
Okay, and welcome back to live action here from Maple Grove as we turn the page to the bottom half of the second inning. And the score remains 5-1, CSP over Maple Grove here in courtesy of 6 hits and 4 runs in the bottom or the top of that second inning. Now we're going to chance to see the bottom half of the Maple Grove order for today. You're going to be starting out with pitcher for today, Colton McCall is going to work himself up to the mound or up to the plate.
Hitters 6, 7, and 8 for Maple Grove coming to the plate this inning at the very least.
Bryce misses just a little bit low, which is okay because he's been missing high, so we're working on it. That one's a little outside, but still low. 2-0 now to the batter, McCall. There's one that's a good-looking pitch right there on the outside corner. 2-1 now.
I'll be curious to see Brian, and we'll have the conversation with Bryce afterwards, but he has had no desire to go inside today, and I don't know if that's planned, but everything is on the outside half of the plate, and if you're in full control, you're moving that ball, you're moving it inside, you're moving it outside, and right now there is nothing crossing the inside half of the plate for Bryce.
Full count now to the first batter of the bottom half of the second inning. Foul back. Working its way toward the ninth green here at Bemis Point Golf Course. So that's a little bigger white ball than they normally get coming into the green. And a good pitch there. Got him swinging on the outside, as you mentioned, Kyle. But that's good enough. Got him swinging on the outside pitch. Couldn't catch up with it, so that's going to be the first out of the inning via strikeout. And that's going to bring up Sean Verbowski, sophomore, playing right field today. And a little high and outside. Sean actually probably saved a advancing runner on that throw over from catcher to first base in the second inning there. So good feeler. And a swing and a miss, strike one for Bryce today. Now he's starting to work that just a little bit. There's one that does sail. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't know. I've been trying to watch his plant foot. Everything seems to be in line, Kyle. I don't know exactly. We're missing high and outside.
Yeah, Bryce has a tendency to want to be very focused on playing the position itself after the pitch versus, you want to come down and you want to bring your body all the way through. And
there's one that's popped up toward the first baseline. Curtis Olson over there makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Heck of a nice play over there by the senior from Panama, Curtis Olson. And that's going to retire Verbowski via a fly out to the first baseman in foul territory. Yeah, great play by Curtis, helping his pitcher out. Really
nice play by Curtis. That's not an easy catch. That's over the shoulder, kind of running in the wrong direction as far as how you'd like to be catching the ball. So great play by Curtis. And that's an unusual spot for Curtis. Curtis does not play first base very often.
That much.
So really nice play by Curtis there.
I was going to mention left-handed hitter Connor Regal up now for the Red Dragons against left-handed throwing Bryce Hinsdale, and this is the first lefty that we've seen, so it'll be interesting to see if he tries to come outside with him. And there's 1-1. So if the mantra from the coaching staff is hit the outside, mission accomplished on that one. Doesn't matter lefty or righty, we're hitting the outside of the plate, not the inside.
Yeah.
Our pregame scouting report didn't mention that. And a foul tip. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Regal. We mentioned Regal. For those of you that are familiar with Clymer, it's the son of Scott Regal, who graduated, and Melissa, who also graduated from Clymer, and grandson of Bob Regal, former superintendent.
Mm-hmm. Scott graduate with you, Brian?
1 year ahead of me.
Okay.
Yep, Scott was a class of 91. And there's Connors, got a hit towards center field. Gabe's got himself parked underneath it. Should be a routine fly ball, and it is. And they go down 1-2-3 in the bottom half of the second inning. And that's going to bring us to the top of the third with the score 5-1 CSP over Maple Grove here from Maple Grove School. We'll be right back.
98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957. Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
As we return to live action here, top of the third inning, Micah Willink at the bat for the Wolfpack. And big swing and a miss for the left-handed swinging Micah Willink.
It was just, it's you don't see this very often, Brian. A lot of lefty action going on today.
Yeah.
You got two pitchers on the mounds that are lefty. CSP, as everybody knows, puts a bunch of left-handed hitters out there, and we saw Aiden Regal up to bat for Maple Grove, or Connor Regal.
Yep, Aiden's his older brother.
Yeah.
Yep. Ooh, late call by home plate umpire Bob Bankowski. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Micah. Got to protect. And he hits one back up the middle, which is going to have a seeing eye dog right between the shortstop and the second baseman. And that's going to be a leadoff single for Micah.
Nice piece of hitting there by Micah. Kind of and what he needed to do was kind of a defensive hitting with 2 strikes and put the bat on the ball and found a hole back up the middle of the field. And now for the third straight inning, Brian, CSP gets their leadoff runner aboard, and we know that in each inning the leadoff runner is scored.
Ball 1 high for Trent Burchanowski, second batter of the inning. Once again, CSP 5, Maple Grove 1 here. Top of the third inning, no outs, runner on first. Trent Burchanowski at the bat. Trent hits a little nubber that's going to have a problem for the second baseman to get there in time, but he does. That was a pretty good play by that second baseman. He had to avoid Micah and charge hard because that ball wasn't hit extremely hard, but he made the play, but sacrifice, that's how it's going to go in the book because he did get Micah moved over to second base on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least we got the base runner over, Brian,
yep.
And not a whole lot different than laying down a bunt to advance them. So now we get kind of a hot bat here with Curtis at the plate with a runner in scoring position.
Foul tip by Curtis, caught by the catcher, 0-1. Runner on second base, Micah Willink. So we do have a runner in scoring position for Curtis. Had a single and scored in the first inning. And a big swing and a miss, strike 2. Pitcher brought a little heat on that one, Kyle.
Yeah, and he's pitched pretty well today.
He really has.
And throwing the ball hard and moving the ball around, and
And that's going to be high and outside. 1-2 to Curtis.
But
good spot.
you can tell, and even from this angle, Brian, that this is a great vantage point. Egan wanted that ball high, so you can tell he is on. He's kind of found a groove because he's moving the ball around.
And a fantastic catch by the first baseman, Colin McPherson, with an over-the-fence grab to retire Curtis Olson. And, man, what a play. So that's going to be the second out of the inning, courtesy of a catch in foul territory that was going to be out of play. He kind of brought that back in play.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. That
fantastic fielding play over there.
Backhanded and reached over the fence, jumped and reached over the fence. Yeah.
And a swing and a miss, strike one for Ian Dunewald. 2 down now, runner on second base. Top of the third inning, 5-1 CSP over Maple Grove. Ball high, 1-1. I do like being behind the plate a little better. Our vantage point's really good. I liked in Panama because we were up top.
Yeah.
It's tough seeing the ball going down the lines. So this is really good for me anyway. And ball low, 2-1 to Ian.
Well, and the closer we get to the home plate umpire, Brian, the less likely it is for you to have the count screwed up.
That's true. And last night's umpire, I don't know who he was. He's going to get a box of chocolates.
He got a thank you card in the mail today.
Yes, he every pitch he knew exactly what the count was, showed it to both dugouts and the field. So and he did a good job calling the game.
Yep.
3-1 now to Ian. They got a scoreboard here today. That also helps. And a swing and a miss, strike two. This is McCall and Egan working the count here to full. And that's going to be high and inside, and that's going to be a base on balls for Ian Dunewald. So Tate Catney's is going to make his way out to the plate. Had a single in the second inning and scored.
Long single.
Yep.
He 2 RBIs back in the second inning.
2 down here. You got to think the runners are going on contact. So all we do need is a hit. That's going to be a called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Tate. Tate was one of the 6 singles we had in a row in that second inning. And another fly ball to right field. Right fielder's camped underneath it. The wind's got a little bit, but that's going to retire the side as he safely brings it down. So we leave 2 runners on base, but we did have some hits there. So Micah had a single, but no runs, no errors, 2 left on base as we enter the bottom of the third inning in a fairly quick-moving game here. We'll be right back.
Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Sherman Livestock at 4150 Sherman Mayville Road. Cattle auctions are held every Tuesday and Thursday. Horse and tack are every third Saturday of the month. For more information, call 716-499-1362 and on Facebook.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me, I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
And welcome back here to Maple Grove as we enter the bottom half of the third inning. CSP currently up 5-1 over the home team Maple Grove Red Dragons as we get ready to face the 9-1-2 batters. So this is going to bring Adam Brisky to the plate. Adam, a junior out of Maple Grove here, playing first base for them today. Excuse me, second base for them. Bryce gets the mound the way he wants it before he's ready to deliver the pitch.
This will be a big inning for CSP here, Brian. Not only because they just came off an inning where they were not able to score any runs, but you're facing now the top of their order here after Adam Brisky. So be an important inning for CSP to try to get out of with no runs.
And that one sails way wide, clear to the backstop here, and yeah, something is not quite right with Bryce today. He's up 5-1, but he has not had his quote-unquote A stuff yet. But we still got time here. That one much better. 2-2 now to the batter Brisky. That one's out of play right behind us here. That'll keep the count 2-2. Once again, bottom of the third inning here. No outs. First batter of the inning here. Number 9 hitter Adam Brisky. 2-2 to Adam. Good pitch there, Bryce. There.
He definitely.
It's a little erratic.
There is definitely nothing coming inside, Brian.
Nope.
And I would be interested to know if that's the game plan.
Well,
and
like 3 of the last 5 batters have been retired by strikeouts, so it's far be it for me to say anything. And we start again, high and outside to the leadoff batter, Jake Valancourt. One down here, bottom of the third inning. There's one on the inside that Messel misses. 2-0 to Valancourt. That one's popped up. Gabe Roth in from his center field position. I kind of lost it in the sun myself. I wasn't sure if Trent had that or Gabe, but Gabe was calling him off the whole way. You could hear it. And that's going to retire Valancourt. Fly out to center field on a nice hard-charging run by Gabe Roth in center. That's why we like him out there.
Yes, it is. And, boy, I thought we were going to have a little communication issue there, Brian. Trent looked like he was ready to catch it, and last minute Gabe comes in. and
my money's on Gabe.
Yes. Yepper.
Trent's pretty tough, but Gabe's a little bigger. So had there been a collision,
and he would have had a little bit. He would have had a little head of steam coming. Yeah.
Trent might have heard the footsteps, but I did hear them calling him off. So good job out there by the center fielder and the second baseman. Both very, very experienced baseball players. 1-0 to now the shortstop Jack Segowan for today. 1-1 now. Good pitch. And that one's connected. Again, Curtis Olson in foul territory. Makes the acrobatic play for the third out of the inning. Nice play with the second time today that he's caught one in foul territory. And he's going to help his pitcher out, fly out to the first baseman, and making it look easy over there.
That was, yeah. That
I
was
shouldn't say making it look easy. No. It's effective.
It's effective, is right. It's effective. And much needed inning for CSP, and much needed inning for Bryce on the mound. Very few pitches, to be honest with you, in that inning. And what you're seeing a little bit here in the last couple innings is Bryce is actually throwing strikes, making them hitters. And all year long, Brian, defensively, CSP's been really good, and which is a little bit unusual, or can be unusual in high school baseball. And just very few errors we see. Last night we saw a fantastic play by Trent Burchanowski at second base. He dove for the ball, turned and from his behind, and threw a guy out at first base, and Bryce was able to scoop it over there. It just
Dylan Michael with a heck of a play in left field last night too. So yeah, and honestly, we've seen some fielding errors today from Maple Grove, which you would say would be a little unusual for them.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
don't get a lot of chances. because
that's a great point, Brian. It's a great point.
We got Tucker Fenton throwing for the most part here, and they have a few others, and I think they're somewhere in the 94 and 6 against territory as far as runs scored versus runs against. There just isn't a lot of opportunities because they're so dominating at the pitching.
Yeah, that I didn't even think of that, Brian, but that's a great point, and that's the one thing that you're seeing today. CSP's hitting the ball, putting pressure on the defense, and what we're seeing is Maple Grove struggling a little bit, and I think you're absolutely right, Brian. Even the Monday night, CSP with Tucker on the mound. I'm not sure. We made
19 strikeouts. We put
one
ball
in
one
play.
hit.
Yeah,
and we didn't put, I don't think, any more in play. They were all via strikeout, except for the last pitcher when McCall came in.
Yeah.
So anyway, top of the 4th inning now, and Caden Beckering's going to lead us off here, and that's going to be a called strike on the inside corner. Caden reached on a single along with everybody else in the 2nd inning. And he gets the bat on the ball and fouls it off behind the backstop here, and quickly behind 0-2.
This is the part of the order, Brian, for CSP where we go lefty, lefty, lefty. 9, 1, and 2. Caden, Austin, and Bryce, all 3 left-handed batters, and so we'll see. We'll see if we can keep this string alive here, where we get our leadoff guy on base.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams throw 3 out of the top 4 and 4 out of the 5. Ooh, that was a weird hop. First baseman did a nice job to wrestle that one in there. Andrew Rauer over there now playing, or excuse me, Colin McPherson with a nice play over there. That thing hit right where the dirt meets the grass. And he's had a couple nice plays over there today. So that's going to retire Caden on the ground out to the first baseman. And
yeah, that ball hit, for those listening or unable to see it on TV, that ball hit right on the crest of where grass turns into dirt. And it was kind of and the bounce, when it bounced, it hit right on that crease. And so if you're the first baseman, if you're McCall, you're expecting that ball to kind of bounce up. And when it hit that crease, it just skipped forward.
And there's a left ball to left field. And that's going to stay fair, and curving away, Austin White with a deep fly ball to left center that lands in fair territory. Austin wasn't real sure if he had enough gas to get over to second, so that's going to be a really long single for Austin White. But again, base runner's on, Kyle.
Yeah, ball outside, and Austin did exactly what you want to do, is just ride that thing to the opposite field. And that's what Austin did, and that was a long run for that left fielder, and he just did not have enough to get there.
I was watching the fielder, not the runner. I don't know. Austin, I thought, could have made his way to second base. I don't know if they held him or what, but anyway, I thought that ball was plenty far and plenty left field enough to get him over to second. But irregardless, he stands on first base, still goes in the book as a hit. 1-1 now to Bryce. And they throw over to first base. Austin back safely.
5-1 CSP here in the top of the 4th. 1 out with a man on first, and Bryce Hinsdale at bat.
Back over to first again. And after a while, we kind of like that play. Eventually, that goes to the bench, goes to the fence.
Typically,
usually.
Yeah. That's
ask
typical.
my wife. That's her favorite play in baseball. Called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bryce.
Yeah, that ball is way outside, Brian, so all Bryce needs to do is take that, just do exactly what Austin did. Yep. Just take that thing. If that call's going to get called a strike, you just got to.
And a ball high, but the ball bounces away from the sliding Austin White. I think he actually got his hand on the glove, and the ball bounces harmlessly over toward the shortstop. So Austin's going to be in there. The ball was pretty well thrown by the catcher here. I think he had him, but the ball bounces away, and now we got a runner in scoring position. 2-2 now to Bryce.
Looks like we may have some equipment challenges with Austin.
Not sure. He's got a sliding glove that he has, or cell phone, or belt. We got a busted belt. So Dad Dan White's going to offer his belt up for Austin. That's something you don't see a whole lot of.
You don't see that very often, Brian. looks like I think when Austin went in head first, he must have broke his belt, and so Coach White, his father, is taking his belt off and giving it to Austin. So
now we're going to see how big that belt really is.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey, you just never know what you're going to see here at high school baseball games. That's a first for me.
Yep.
I've seen shoelaces bust. I've seen ball gloves not come or bust in half, but I've never seen a belt. So another first.
That steal by Austin puts him in scoring position, so it's important at bat here for Bryce to try to get a base hit, help himself a little bit, because a base hit more than likely scores a run.
All right, as we get ready to wind things back up here, looks like Austin's got everything back in its place out there. So 2-2 now to Bryce Hinsdale. And Bryce hits one back up the middle off the pitcher's glove. Going to be a tough play, and the pitcher does throw it wide, and that's going to allow Austin to score from his second base position. And Bryce is going to end up on second base. Now he's going to try and make it over to third. And the ball again gets deflected away from the fielder at third base, and Bryce on a very aggressive base running makes his way from first to second and now on third. RBI on the hit that never made its way past 60 feet 6 inches away from the plate. Pitcher did a nice job of knocking that down, but when he went to grab it, he kind of looked at the runner, and Bryce was chugging down first base. He thought he needed to hustle the throw, and he hurried it a little bit and threw it wide to the first baseman, and then the error started.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here, Brian, is a little bit of balls getting put in play, a little bit of pressure. Maple Grove has not been in this situation at all this year, and it looks like they're intentionally walking Gabe to get to Micah. So we'll see how that plays out for
Maple
Maple
Grove's
Grove.
coach come out and talk to the umpire. I couldn't know what was going on, but that's what he said. You don't have to pitch in high school. You just say 4 balls and he's on base, so that saves the arm. And that's Micah with a foul over toward the bus stop here in Maple Grove. 0-1 to Micah. First and third situation here. 1 down, top of the fourth. Micah fouls another one back. That would have been the one he wanted back, I think. That one was in a pretty good spot for Micah. About belt high, just couldn't quite catch up with it. So now he's behind 0-2. Gabe was on the move to second base, so they had the hit and run on there.
Yeah, so now Micah's got to go back into kind of protective mode and just see if he can get bad on the ball. And
as they throw it over to first, everybody ends up on the dirt, including the first baseman. Everybody looks to be okay over there. Yeah, Gabe and the first baseman bounce knuckles like, hey, this isn't football. We're good. And they got Micah looking on the outside corner, and that's going to be strikeout for Micah, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. They also threw the ball down to third to see if they could get Bryce watching, but he was safely back. So Gabe does go over to second on the called third strike. So we got second and third now. 2 down here. Trent Burchanowski up to bat.
Yeah, and if I'm Micah, I'm taking a look at that called third strike and saying, my pitcher's not getting that call.
Give me that one too. Yeah.
My pitcher is not getting that call. I can tell you that. And so he would know firsthand because he's back there for every single one of them.
1 ball and no strikes now to Trent. And Trent hits a little dribbler back toward the pitcher, makes the play over to first, and that's going to retire the side. But the Wolfpack gives themselves an insurance run, courtesy of a first single, a stolen base, and a 2-run single. So that's going to make the score, or as 1-run single, that's going to make the score 6-1 as we enter the bottom half of the 4th inning here. And we'll be right back.
Broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
This broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Custom Shipping Products, located at 8661 Knowlton Road in Clymer. Custom Shipping Products is a provider of custom, new, and reconditioned pallets, crates, and boxes for shipping, warehousing, and packaging applications. Phone 716-355-4437.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided in part by White Land Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for clients in Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York, and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Call 716-499-8410 or visit online at mwhitepls.com.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
Okay, as we return back here to Maple Grove, CSP with a 6-1 bottom of the fourth lead against the Maple Grove Red Dragons here as we're going to go to the bullpen, Kyle, and we're going to bring in Trent Burchanowski to relieve Bryce Hinsdale, who did a very effective job for the first 3 innings of this game. And that's going to institute a bunch of defensive switches for the Wolfpack. Trent's going to start to pitch this inning. Curtis is going to go back to back to third. Bryce is going to go to first. Tate's going to go to second base, and the outfielders, I believe, are staying where they were at.
Yeah, not an overly efficient day for Bryce, but at the end of the day, gave up one run, and we'll take it. So,
1 run, 3 strikeouts. And Trent Burchanowski deals the first one, ball low. 8. And ball 2 low, quickly behind 2-0 for Trent here. Trent saw some action as a pitcher a couple games ago and really had an excellent outing. And so, once again, another of the numerous CSP Wolfpack pitchers that we can roll out to the mound. And that one's fouled off. Curtis Olson trying to make another over-the-shoulder catch. That would have been a miraculous one there.
Yeah, that one would have been impressive.
He was running pretty much full tilt, looking up into the sun, and still just about gathered it in.
Yep.
So, but ball hits the ground, so that's going to give Keinan new life back here.
Trent comes in, faces the heart of their lineup, Brian. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up in this inning, so.
And that one's fouled to the right field out into the fairway of the 9th green here, 9th fairway.
And if you're CSP and you kind of get a synopsis of Bryce's 3 innings and now Trent, really the only damage Maple Grove did was when CSP gave walks, kind of self-inflicted.
Full count now. I missed it here.
I missed it too, Brian, but
they're saying check swing.
Check swing.
Okay.
So he checked it. Home plate umpire called it. He checked it to first base and
got me. I did not see that. I'll be the first to admit. So you got him on the check swing. Keinan is retired via strikeout for Trent Burchanowski. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 1 to the big first baseman, Colin McPherson.
He's a big kid, Brian.
He is. I walked in beside him. I thought it was Tucker, to be honest with you. Tucker's big, and this kid is bigger. And there's a deep fly ball to center field. Gabe Roth got himself planted underneath it. The wind's got a little bit. But once again, like Gabe out there, securely puts it away with both hands, just like the Little League coaches taught him way back when. And that's going to be out number 2 here, bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, and what we're seeing a little bit out of Maple Grove right now, Brian, is they are and you've seen CSP do it in other games, but they got a little bit of the fly ball thing going on right now. They've had in the last 2 innings, they've had last really three 2.5 innings have had 4 or 5 outs from fly outs, and again, at the end of the day, what you want to really do as a batter is you want to try to line drive balls, put balls on the ground, create put pressure on that defense. So making it a little bit easier here for CSP, but at the end of the day, you still got to make the catches, and that's what they're doing.
So 2 down now, bottom of the 4th inning here. Andrew Auer at the plate, 2-0 to Andrew. CSP 6, Maple Grove 1 is your score. And ball on the inside. Trent trying to work the corners. So he's a little outside, a little inside that time. So we'll see. But that's 3-0 quickly to the number 5 batter, Andrew Auer here.
Yeah, I would think, Brian, that he's probably taken here.
And he is.
He is.
Base on ball. Yep, Trent not giving anything down the middle of the plate for sure. He's definitely trying to work the corners. So that's going to bring up today's pitcher, Colton McCall, with a 2 down runner on first base. Once again, scores 6-1 CSP over Maple Grove. Bottom of the 4th inning.
And if you're Trent, really no harm there. You get you have 2 outs here. You got a good defense behind you. You want to try to make McCall be a hitter, and again another big kid here for Maple Grove.
I think that one might have got Micah in a sensitive spot there.
Yeah.
There's a called strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there for Trent. 1-1 now to the batter. CSP coaches move and take Catneys around where they think they got the scouting report figured out. There's a nice pitch on the outside corner there, called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to McCall. I'd go right back there. Curveball. That got him swinging. That was a great pitch.
Yeah, that was a bit of a nasty.
That was nasty. That was just plain nasty.
You don't get a sense when you're watching from the side. You don't get a sense of that, and from this angle here, that was that almost buckled him there.
Yeah, I can't believe that thing curved in. That started out 2 feet out of the strike zone and curved in. So as we enter the top half of the 5th inning, we're going to cut away. We'll be right back.
On the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957. Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the free energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
All right, as we return here to live action, and similar to what CSP did the last inning, Maple Grove is going to make some substitutions, and they're now going to bring Jackson Gowan to the mound, their typical catcher. Once again, they're kind of playing with a little bit of a depleted roster here today. So Jackson Gowan's going to make his way to the mound, and that's going to bring an end to the day for Colton McCall, who really, I thought, pitched pretty decently. He just had the one rough inning.
Yeah.
The second inning.
And I would argue, Brian, that he did exactly what Maple Grove's coaching staff would have wanted him to do. He threw strikes and made CSP be hitters, and he didn't get a lot of help from his defense, to be very honest with you. But overall, I think he should be very proud of the effort he put in today.
And Curtis Olson comes to the plate to lead off the fifth inning for the Wolfpack, and he kicks a called strike for his first pitch. Gowan, as you would expect, pretty much an all-star catcher. He's got a rifle for an arm. I've not seen him pitch before, but you can just tell. Now one gets a little bit away from him. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Curtis.
Curtis singled back in the second and flew out.
There's a nasty curveball that misses just a little high. Maple Grove coaching staff wanted that one because I think Trent might have got that call last inning. 2-1 now to Curtis. And there's one ripped down the middle that goes foul off a couple different pads. I think that one caught kind of Negan in a tough spot there. That's sore. I think it got his foot. Big swing by Curtis. And that might have even got the home plate umpire Bob Bankowski a little bit too. Everybody kind of gathers themselves here a little bit. We'll give him just a second. And here we go, 2-2 to Curtis. Nasty curveball. Nasty, nasty. Curtis goes down swinging.
Yeah, that ball was Gowan did a nice job of forcing Curtis to get a swing at a ball outside of the strike zone, and
started on the outside and curved out from there. There's another one. Curveball drops in. 0-1 to Ian Dunewald. I think Jackson is certainly pretty effective with the fastball breaking ball changeup here. There's the fastball. Strike 2. 0-2 to Ian Dunewald now. Saw a breaking ball for the first pitch and a smoking fastball for the second. There's a curveball that goes behind his helmet. Didn't curve. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ian.
Had Ian not ducked there, Brian, that might have
plunked him in the shoulder.
Him right in the shoulder.
Hard to stand there and take those, though. Really hard.
Yeah, it's easy to say right here.
From right here. That's what I would have done, sure. And Ian gets the fastball, fouls it off out into the fairway of number 9 here. We're seeing a lot of action today. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ian.
Ian a hair behind it here, so
well, he's got that fastball that can motor, and then he's got that breaking stuff that just curves in there nice. There's the curve, and they got him. Yeah, Jackson, you can tell, one of the better ball players in the league, and he's showing it on the mound. He usually shows it behind the plate. So 2 down now. Top of the 5th for the Wolfpack. That's going to bring Tate Catney's up. We'll see what he can do against Gowan. Curveball high.
Tate today is got a very important single back in the second inning. Hit it between deep single between kind of left center, and that scored 2 runs back in the second inning. Kind of got us started and flew out to right field in the third inning.
There's a called strike. 2-1 now to Tate.
And Jackson's got a little bit more speed than what we saw out of McCall. So takes a little bit of getting used to here for CSP hitters.
And Tate, no problem, bangs it right out to left center again. About the same spot he hit that single in the second inning. And Tate is aboard with another single. Good piece of hitting there. And as you mentioned, it's a little different speed, and even within Gowan's pitching repertoire, that fastball is moving pretty good, and the curveball breaks a lot, so he's pretty effective. Nice hit there by Tate.
Yeah, and it gets us some speed on the bases, Brian.
Yes,
I would not be surprised if Tate is looking to steal here to at least get himself.
As they quickly throw over to first, that ball was moving toward first. McPherson or McCall over there at first now. And called strike.
I think this is Dylan Michael in for Caden Beckerink,
yes,
I believe,
is.
Brian.
Yes, it is. Ball low, 1-1.
And the importance of having a guy with speed on first base is if we are able to get a stolen base here, gets a runner in scoring position.
And Dylan hits one back toward the pitcher, and looks like it's going to be a routine play for the Maple Grove duo, pitcher to first baseman. And that's going to retire the Wolfpack fifth inning. 2 strikeouts, 1 hit, and the score remains CSP 6, Maple Grove 1 as we enter the middle part of the 6th inning. We'll be right back.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods. 716-234-4002 or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook.
If you could do something today that could save someone's life, would you do it? If it didn't cost you a dime and only took a little time and could literally save a life, would you do it? Can you believe that only 3% of people say yes to this? How's that possible? That's the real percentage of people who give blood. It's something you can do whether you're a millionaire, middle class, or completely poor. There's no fee and it's easy to do. And you can literally save a life. Let's roll up our sleeves and make a difference. Give blood. We can do better than 3%. Learn more at redcrossblood.org.
Funding for coverage of CSP baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech Robert Leonard from Panama installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook.
As we return here to action, it's the bottom of the 5th inning. From the just before the break. It is the bottom of the 5th. The score is 6-1 CSP over Maple Grove. 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming up for Maple Grove as Trent delivers one inside, and Sean Verboski, the first batter of the inning, fouls one off the right field line. Trent quickly hit 0-1.
That was close, Brian. That might have.
I thought I was going to hit him.
I thought it was going to hit him as well.
0-1 now. Trent looks into Micah to get the sign. And there's a little dribbler back toward Trent. Throws it over to first base. Quickly Bryce steps on first, and that's going to be the retirement of Sean Verboski. First out of the inning. 1-3.
Trent pounding for Verboski inside there, and on the foul ball was in on the hands, and that ball back to the pitcher was also in on the hands. So nice piece of pitching for Trent, moving the ball around in the strike zone and forcing minimal contact by Maple Grove.
Once again, Connor Riegel, left-handed batting. Connor Riegel is up to the bat. A little outside, 1 ball and no strikes for Connor.
We're getting it's about 6:15 here on the East Coast, Brian, and people are with the weather the way it is. People are out grilling tonight, and there is.
I smell steaks.
There's steak smell in the air for sure.
We might have to go investigate that a little bit.
We may.
2 balls, no strikes.
Medium well is how I like mine done.
I like mine a little more on the rare side, so they can pull mine off just a little early. I'll be right over. About an inch thick, be about perfect. And a check swing by Riegel. No go, says field umpire. 3-0 now to Connor.
I'm not exactly sure, Brian, how that field umpire could make that call, to be honest with you. And it's not nothing against him. He's just not in position to make it.
Riegel, the left-handed batter, and MLB, that would have been a protest onto the third base umpire.
Yep.
But in high school, you get one shot. He's planted at first base, where he should be.
Yep.
So 3-1 now to Connor Riegel. And that one's fouled. Trent battling back here. 3-2 now to Riegel. 1 down here. Nobody on base. Bottom of the 5th inning. 6-1 CSP over Maple Grove. The number 8 hitter Connor Riegel at bat. Full count. And he's going to put him aboard via walk. A little high and outside. That's the first base runner of the inning. That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter.
Should mention, Brian, I think there was a defensive substitution in the field for CSP. Dylan Michael comes into the game playing left field. That moves Ian Dunewald over to right. Everybody else in their traditional spots here with Trent on the mound.
Okay, thank you. There's called strike 1 for second baseman Adam Brisky. Brisky, the junior out of Maple Grove, looking to try and add to his team's total of 1 run so far. Runner on first. Hey, that about got the camera. So followed straight back here.
That came right into everyone's living room right there.
Brian Silvis is cringing as we're talking about this.
We can report to Brian that all equipment is
all is well.
All is well.
No balls and 2 strikes to Adam Brisky. Curveball. Fouled off. Good to stay alive there by Brisky. That was a nasty curve by Trent.
Yeah, good piece of hitting here by Brisky, fighting off a couple strikes that Trent's thrown, just staying alive.
Ball high. Good spot for that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Brisky. 1 down here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Yeah. Home plate umpire rings him up on the 3rd strike looking. 2nd out of the inning. Good pitch there by Trent. Good at-bat by Brisky, though, too. He did a good job staying alive in there.
Yeah, that ball was right on the corner. That's been called a strike all day long, yep. Brian, so it's been consistent.
So that brings top of the order for Maple Grove. Jake Valancourt, 2 down here, runner on first. Jake flew out to center field. Ball high. Jake flew out to center field in the 3rd inning and took a walk in the 1st inning, and he is the lone run scored for the Maple Grove Red Dragons today. A little outside to Valancourt. 2-0 now.
Yeah, Trent wants to make them hitters here, particularly up 6-1. You do not want to be handing out base on balls. You want to make sure that they earn it by putting bat on the ball.
There's one down the middle. And good stop by Bryce over there. Micah tried to catch the base runner, Connor Riegel, leaning, keeping him honest over there. Bryce did a nice job batting that thing down. Didn't get the best throw off, but Bryce did a nice job of at least batting it down and keeping it in front of him. 2-1 to Valancourt now. And Valancourt fouls one. That's going to be out of play down the right field line, so that's going to even up the count at 2-2. Once again, a good battle going here between pitcher and batter. Two and two down, bottom of the fifth. And that one's hit toward the gap between second and first. Tate Catney's over there, makes a nice play. Tate Catney's with the play going to his left, retrieves the ball, throws it over to Bryce Hinsdale, and they get the fast-running Jake Valancourt down the line, and they retire him 4-3. Excellent play by the two freshmen from Panama over there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brian, a little freshman combination there, and that will not be the last time that we see that over the course of the next 3 years or so.
That is correct, and that is good to see if you're a Wolfpack fan, and if you're a visiting team, you're thinking, oh boy, we got to watch this for the next 3 years. So, on that note, we'll be right back.
Broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Funding for this broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957. Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
As we welcome you back to the top of the sixth inning, CSP Wolfpack with a 6-1 lead over Maple Grove Red Dragons. Top of the sixth inning, Austin White, the leadoff batter for the Wolfpack. And takes a called strike on the inside corner. Once again, Jackson Gowan on the mound for Maple Grove to lead off the sixth inning. He's got a pretty good combo, fastball and curveball. Does a pretty good job disguising that curve. And Austin hits that one real good toward the right fielder, and that's going to bounce its way to the fence. It's still in play. Austin's going to be in second base with a stand-up double as it takes one hop into the outfield fence. Excellent piece of hitting there by Austin White as he took that inside pitch and just turned on it, Kyle.
Yeah, really nice job. Really nice job by Austin. Leadoff double. One interesting thing I happened to notice, I'm wondering, Brian, if Austin noticed it as well. Jackson Gowan called off a couple of pitches from his catcher. He agreed to a pitch, and then he took some time gripping the ball.
Yep.
Just subtle things like that as a hitter, that you immediately, at least one would think, you immediately knew that there's a foul ball by Bryce, that was going to be a curveball. And so just subtle things like that as a hitter you need to pick up on as you're facing pretty tough pitchers.
I still say, might have been last summer I was watching Sunday Night Baseball and Jeter was the analyst. And Bryce fouls another one off into the fence here. And he was talking about that same thing, about pitchers tipping their pitches off. And he said to major league level, he says, you really got to watch because those guys are all really good. But he said there's two things. He said the same thing, the timing, how long it takes the pitcher to actually get his hand on the ball. And then he says you take a look at the mitt. If the mitt's wide open, you know they're going in there and they're getting their fingers on that curveball.
Mm-hmm.
If the mitt only opens a little bit, they're holding it for a fastball, two-seamer. And just those little things. and Briggs takes a swing and a miss on an outside pitch that was going to be close. He probably should have been swinging, but he did not make any contact, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. One down here, top of the 6th inning. So, yeah, that's the little cat and mouse game that the hitters and the bench players can certainly help everybody with.
Yeah,
Look at
that's right.
tendencies. How is the pitcher approaching things? Does he hold his glove higher or lower when the fastball's coming? And there's one in the dirt, and Egan is having a hard time to find it, and that's going to allow Austin White to advance over to third base on a heads-up play by Austin. Ball did not get that far away from the catcher, but he could not find it in the dirt.
No, Egan did a nice job blocking that. He just unfortunately got away from him a little bit, and Austin's got enough speed to any little bobble, he's going to be able to get over to second.
So this is Gabe Roth. Gabe with a big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gabe.
Gabe was intentionally walked his last at bat, and so I'm sure he's happy to get a chance here to swing away. Particularly with a guy in scoring position.
Yeah. Timeout called by Gabe. And as you mentioned, catcher and pitcher have a long time that they stare down at each other, and Jackson's not afraid to nod him off. So you don't see that an awful lot in high school, but he's certainly looking to, as a catcher, he knows what he wants. And there's one outside and low. Catcher does a nice job to keep it from going to the fence.
Yep.
2-1 now to Gabe.
6-1 CSP. You're in the top of the 6th. We got 1 out with a base runner at third base and Gabe Roth at the plate.
Gabe goes the opposite field with it to right field. It should be deep enough. Here comes Austin charging down the line, and it's not even going to draw a throw. So mission accomplished there for Gabe as he gets a sacrifice RBI, scoring Austin White from third base. That makes the score 7-1 CSP. And that's going to be the second out of the inning. But once again, we do get that extra insurance run, Kyle.
Yeah, a lot of small ball runs today for CSP.
Right from the first inning.
Right, yep,
we had some bunts and just sacrifice flies, more than we've had in any game so far this year.
Yep, that's right.
2 down here now as Micah Willink makes his way to the plate. Base is empty. 2 down.
And we talk a lot about this, Brian, throughout the year, but this is a good competitive game for CSP. Put CSP in positions that they don't normally find themselves in, as far as that small ball type of environment. And those are types of if you're able to do those things, those will win you important games. Those will win you important games as you continue to play throughout the year and into the playoffs.
So Micah takes the first pitch and fouls it off behind the Maple Grove dugout. 0-1 to Micah. 2 down. And there's a little one off the handle of the bat over to the second baseman. This should be a routine play as Micah is put out at first base, courtesy of a 4-3 put out. And that's going to end the CSP 6th inning. But we do get that insurance run, Kyle, courtesy of a sacrifice fly and a double from Austin White. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Score 7-1 here as we enter the middle part of the 6th inning. We'll be right back.
On the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
This broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Custom Shipping Products, located at 8661 Knowlton Road in Clymer. Custom Shipping Products is a provider of custom, new, and reconditioned pallets, crates, and boxes for shipping, warehousing, and packaging applications. Phone 716-355-4437.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided in part by White Lion Surveying in Clymer. providing land surveys for clients in Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York, and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Call 716-499-8410 or visit online at mwhitepls.com.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
All right, welcome back here as we enter the bottom of the sixth inning. CSP with a 7-1 now lead over the Maple Grove Red Dragons as Maple Grove is going to bring their 2-3-4 batters up. Jackson Gowan's going to lead off the sixth inning here. He's going to be the pitcher for the current pitcher, so he'll see if he can help himself here. And he does, as a first pitch fastball that is hit to center field, and Jackson Gowan has got himself into the single. He's going to run down to first base. Pretty good hit.
Yeah, really nice hit right back up the middle, just as you would draw it up. And that ball for Maple Grove had been a pop-up a couple innings ago, and that was a nice line drive base hit. Now Maple Grove's got some speed on the bases, and I would imagine they're going to be relatively aggressive, trying to get some runners in scoring position. And But we got Micah behind the plate, who is one of the top catchers in the Southern Tier. So,
and foul off. Ooh, Maple Grove player in the batting circle over here did all he could to defend himself.
Egan is 0 for 2 today, or I'm sorry, he's reached on a base. Reached on a base on ball back in the first, and struck out in the fourth.
Foul tip. Got Micah.
Trent working
ahead, 0-2.
Yeah, Trent working ahead here, which really makes him real difficult. I would imagine we'll see maybe one. We'll say at least one, maybe two balls out of the strike zone, I would think, here to try to see if he can get Egan to chase one.
Micah sets up outside. And he's going to pop it up toward right field, the charging Ian Dunewald. And he makes the catch. Nice play out there by the new right fielder. Nice job, Ian. One down. Bottom of the sixth inning.
Yeah, he had to come in quite a ways for that, Brian. He was playing pretty deep, and he's got pretty good speed and was able to get underneath it and record the first out of the inning. There he goes.
And that's a good play out there. Jackson Gowan into second with a stolen base. Micah up and out of his stance back there, but couldn't get the throw off in time.
Yeah.
So that's
his
tough.
pitcher didn't help him much there. I think if you're Trent, he'd look back at that and say, I need to at least look over at him. He didn't even look at him, and Jackson Gowan was almost running before Trent pitched it. So
there's that curveball, breaks in there, and McPherson's like, wow, that thing moves. 1-1 now to McPherson. As Trent shakes off Micah a little bit, so he knows what he's looking to throw. Catches the fence right in front of us here. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Colin McPherson.
And if the ball, if you're a CSP defender here, particularly on the infield, balls hit to the left-hand side of the field, you want to look back at that second base runner and go to first. If that was a nasty pitch right there.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Micah did have that pop out of his glove, but he quickly applied the tag before McPherson even got out of the batter's box. So that's going to be the second retired batter of the inning here. So we still have Jackson Gowan on second base. 2 down now. Andrew Auer up. Auer hits one over the Tate at second base, throws it over to Bryce, and that's going to retire the side. Once again, the freshman connection over there, 4-3. And Trent's doing his job, and as well as the defensive players for the CSP Wolfpack this afternoon. And they find themselves ahead of the Maple Grove Red Dragons 7-1 as we enter the top half of the 7th inning here. And we're going to break away. We'll be right back.
98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Arlene's Dutch Kitchen Restaurant and Becky's Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. Arlene's offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Becky's Bakery features Amish-style baked goods. 716-234-4002 or Arlene's Dutch Kitchen on Facebook.
If you could do something today that could save someone's life, would you do it? If it didn't cost you a dime and only took a little time and could literally save a life, would you do it? Can you believe that only 3% of people say yes to this? How's that possible? That's the real percentage of people who give blood. It's something you can do whether you're a millionaire, middle class, or completely poor. There's no fee and it's easy to do. And you can literally save a life. Let's roll up our sleeves and make a difference. Give blood. We can do better than 3%. Learn more at redcrossblood.org.
Funding for coverage of CSP baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by First Place Auto Glass of Jamestown. Owner Glass Tech Robert Leonard from Panama installs automotive glass and works with all major insurance companies. We thank First Place Auto Glass, 716-450-0847, or on Facebook.
All right, as we get ready to start the 7th inning here from beautiful Bemis Point, New York, on just a gorgeous spring afternoon, May the 13th here. Friday the 13th. Trent Berchanowski.
Today is Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it is too. Yeah, I got reminded of that today. I didn't know it either. So, Trent Berchanowski is going to be the leadoff batter for the CSP Wolfpack in the top half of the 7th inning here. Trent takes one called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 to Trent.
Speaking of May 13th, Brian, May 14th is my bride's birthday, so want to wish my wife, Bryn Hinsdale, a happy birthday tomorrow. And on May 15th is Christy Catney's birthday, which is Sunday, so I want to wish Christy, your sister, a happy birthday as well.
Absolutely. A couple of the CSP Wolfpack moms. And they might have a little something to do with us, too, you know.
Yeah.
Once in a while. 2 balls and 1 strike. And there's one low and away. Trent works the count, 3-1 now. Jackson Gowan still on the mound for Maple Grove here. And pretty effective pitcher, I would say, for the most part here. As Trent hits one off the handle, and it's going to bounce foul. Kind of a curveball that started to curve, and Trent got the bat on the ball, but not a lot of it.
No, and it was, if that was a wooden bat, Brian, I would imagine that would have broke.
Yeah.
Because it was in very tight on the hands, and Trent did a nice job of fighting that off and is living to see another day here.
Full count now to Trent. No outs here, top of the 7th. And that nasty curveball. Trent's going to try and leg it out down to first. And a little high throw, but the tall, lanky first baseman comes down with it, and that's going to retire Trent. 1 down here now, top of the 7th. That's going to bring up Curtis Olson.
Yeah, Jackson had been seeing his teammates being struck out by Trent's curveball, so he was trying to get
fair play, right?
Yeah, that's right, and he's got as good of a curveball as Trent does. It really bends.
That one did there too. That just misses, but that curved about a foot. 1 ball, no strikes now to Curtis. Curtis gets the bat on the ball. That's going to be out of play here behind us. In through the tree and harmlessly over here, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Curtis. I guess that's a willow tree. I think that's what that is.
If you say so.
I say so.
Okay.
Good enough. There's one down to third baseline. It's going to hop. Foul. Foul ball. Close.
Yeah, it put up its first bounce, Brian, put up some white
chalk.
White chalk.
Still
and then,
see it in the air over there.
As the third baseman grabbed it, it was out of play. So
1 ball, 2 strikes now to Curtis. That could have tripled just to the right about 3 inches. That would have been a tough play for that third baseman to make.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one makes its way to the backstop off the outside of the catcher's mitt. No harm, no foul, though, other than it's a ball.
That was
nobody on base.
Was tight for Curtis there. Huh?
Yeah, I thought
almost
might
hit
even
him.
Have gotten the hand the butt of the bat on it. I thought almost, but apparently not. 2-2. Nasty curve. It gets away from the catcher. Curtis is making his way down toward first base, and that's going to be a reach, courtesy of a swing and a miss, strike 3, but it does get the catcher to misplay it, and it bounces away, so Curtis is going to be aboard.
Yeah, gets our first base runner of the inning here, and brings Ian Dunawald to the plate. Ian reached on an error back in the second inning. Reached on a base on ball back in the third and struck out in his last at bat in the 5th.
Called strike 1 for Ian at the plate, and they got Curtis leaning over at first base, and they had him about 10 feet away from the bag, and Curtis was able to gather himself, get back to first. But his mom's definitely going to have to get the laundry machine going this weekend. And a bunt down the third base line that goes foul for Ian. So that's going to bring it to 0-2 for Ian. So I think that will be the end of the bunting. Because if you have a bunt on the third strike that goes foul, you are out.
Yep. Yeah, now he's going to be swinging away, I would think, and at least try to do what he was trying to do with the bunt, which is advance the runner to second base.
This Coach Dan White fields the one down the right field line and throws it back into the pitcher. So we'll replay it again. Once again, 0-2. Runner on first base, Ian Dunawald at the bat. 7-1 lead for the CSP Wolfpack over Maple Grove. There's that nasty curveball that Ian did a nice job to fight off of.
He's staying alive, Brian. That was a great at bat, and there is a good at bat, and he's just he once he committed there and fought that pitch off.
And Gowan, I mean, the difference between his fastball and his changeup or his curveball is tremendous. I mean, as good as Tucker Fenton is, and the difference in his velocity, Gowan is not the same velocity, but there's got to be the same differential between the speed. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ian. So it's tough to lay off that breaking ball when you see the fastball.
Yep.
And that one hits him. Yeah, I think that one says that it got him on the shoulder. Didn't hit him. Bob Bankowski, home plate umpire. He's going to bring him back. Yeah. Said it didn't hit him, so he's back to bat. So home plate umpire is looking at Ian's nose, seeing if it's going to swell up or if it's bleeding. So far, we're not seeing much. They're having a hard time convincing him.
It's like hockey, Brian, when the high stick and you're looking for blood, right? And
That's right.
See if you get a 2-minute or 4-minute penalty. But at the end of the day, they called him back and
said it missed everything.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Ian, and takes one off the nose, and now we're going to see what he's got. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Probably because his eyes were watering.
Somebody
that's 2 down.
I'm not sure what we got now here, Brian.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I think that one is Curtis had that swinging third strike that he advanced, and I'm thinking home plate umpire might have chalked that up for a strikeout. Thought that was a second out, but either way, that's only 2 outs because Curtis did reach.
Yep.
So I think maybe that was the confusion. So 2 outs is what I have. Tate Catney's up. Got Curtis Olson on second base.
Base hit by Tate here, scores a run, so it'd be a big at bat here for Tate.
And takes one down the middle, strike 1 for Tate. Tate reached with 2 singles in the second, in the fifth, and flew out to right field in the third. So Tate's having a good day at the plate. A curveball on the outside. It gets away. Curtis wisely probably stays at second. Catcher's got a pretty good gun over there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The
got some sputtering going on between the teams. As Tate hits one to left center field, they're going to wave Curtis. We're going to see what kind of arm this left fielder's got. It turns out he's got a pretty good one. But Curtis beats it in.
Good job. Good job by Tate. He takes advantage of the opportunity. Goes ends up on second base, and that scores Curtis from second. What happened here, Brian?
I think they're trying to say, I'm not sure what happened, but the catcher's got a bloody forehead. And I think that Curtis maybe got him on the way in with his cleat or maybe with his arm. I'm not sure. It was a close play at the plate. The left fielder had a cannon and threw the ball in. The left fielder had a heck of a cannon shot from the left field
he threw
position.
it great.
Threw it great. Threw a strike to the catcher. Catcher applied the tag, but the hustling Curtis Olson was underneath the tag, and somehow, I don't know exactly because the dust was flying, he got a bloody, it looks like a forehead. So now the catcher is going to have to come out of the game because he's got a pretty good gash above his eye. And I'm not exactly sure the whole sequence of events there. But anyway, the run's going to be scored, and that's going to make the score 8-1. And they're going to be having to gear up another catcher here to finish off the game.
Yeah, I really don't know how that happened, Brian, to be honest with you.
Did he get hit with the ball on the way in?
I don't know.
Because Curtis didn't come in, spikes high. You know, the catcher was standing up. The ball was up the first base line a little bit. Whether or not he collided with Curtis's helmet, potentially, but it wasn't his cleats, and it didn't look like it was a dirty play by anybody, any stretch.
No.
So I don't know.
Unfortunately, when it was all going down, I was, and somehow I saw Tate come across home plate, Brian. So if you, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8-1, but Tate
I'm
is
not sure. Tate
is across the plate. So
did
I don't.
Tate cross? In the action after the play, the ball bounces over to the screen, and the catcher was trying to apply pressure to his forehead to keep the bleeding subsided. So it's possible that the play was still going on, and the ball kind of rolled over toward the first base or the third base side over toward the Maple Grove dugout. So it's possible with Tate's speed that he would have scored on second on the ball that got away from the catcher as the catcher was leaning down trying to apply pressure to his forehead.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the only thing that I can figure. They never called timeout, I don't think.
If they got their way, we'd have a runner on base.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. And I guess the play could be made, an injury timeout, but it's tough in baseball mid-play when the ball hasn't been taken out of play yet. So
yeah, that's right.
I think the play continues until the umpires tell you it's out of play. You got a live ball bouncing around over near the batter's circle, and on the batter's circle, yeah. We're trying to figure out exactly what happened, but we're just kind of guessing. Talking to you and the radio all at the same time.
So did the catcher get cut on that play?
I think he did above his eye. I think the catcher.
Okay for them to get hurt, but not us.
I don't know still how the catcher came up with a gash above his eye, but he certainly did. And I could tell right away that he either got dust or something in his eye because he ran up the third baseline and covered his head with his hands. But I couldn't tell if it was dust or what. But then when he turned around, I saw the blood. So
yeah, I'm wondering if the ball must have hit him.
Yeah, something. It wasn't anything to do with Curtis, in my estimation. Curtis was just making a hard play down the line, and there was a little collision, but I've seen much worse. So anyway. Well, while we attempt to figure things out here, we're going to take a little break, and we'll see if we can't figure out what exactly is going on. We're trying to get a catcher into the game, it looks like, but we'll take a break here.
On the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
This broadcast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Custom Shipping Products, located at 8661 Knowlton Road in Clymer. Custom Shipping Products is a provider of custom, new, and reconditioned pallets, crates, and boxes for shipping, warehousing, and packaging applications. Phone 716-355-4437.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is provided in part by White Land Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for clients in Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Call 716-499-8410 or visit online at mwhitepls.com.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
There we go. I turned the mics down.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yep.
I knew I couldn't hear you, Brian.
Yep,
so.
that was me. So the question is now that we turn back to action, it looks like the catcher from Maple Grove has come over and apologized as likely as the CSP team has apologized to him. We're still not sure exactly what happened with the eyebrow, but anyway, he's got a pretty good gash. They got some butterflies on it, but he's going to be out of the game. So we're going to be back in live action here. Tate Katniss is the one that started that with the double to the gap in left field. I don't see Tate on the base paths anywhere, which to me would mean that they're going to count his run as scoring, which makes
I would
that
agree,
run
Brian.
9-1. And I'm still showing 2 outs. And Dylan Michael is up to bat. And I believe Tate's run scores.
Yeah, I think we got 9-1 here, Brian,
so.
with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Dylan Michael up to bat, and first pitch ball for Maple Grove.
Yep. So as everybody kind of gets tempers back in order here, and we get things we think straightened out somewhat, we're back at live action. 1 ball, no strikes to Dylan Michael. And there's one down the middle, 1-1 to Dylan. And the scoreboard is showing 8-1, but I believe the correct score is 9.
Yep, I would agree.
And Dylan's got a chopper down to third baseline. It's going to be fielded by the third baseman, and they're going to retire Dylan for the 3rd out of the inning. And that's going to be a 5-3 end of the 7th for the Wolfpack. But once again, I believe that we pushed across 2 runs that inning, and that makes the score 9-1 with the last ups coming for the Maple Grove Red Dragons. And they're going to bring their 6, 7, 8 batters to the plate. Colton McCall, Sean Verbowski, and Connor Regal. So we'll see if they can mount a comeback here. But, this has been kind of a wild game in some respects. There's been some unforced errors from the Maple Grove team. CSP has played pretty persistent here and allowing just the 1 run. Bryce had his, a couple walks in that first stanza. But other than that, pitching has been real good. Trent's come in, and Bryce pitched the last 2 innings of his outing really good. So here we are, and we believe the score is 9-1. And we'll see if we can get 3 outs here and make our record. I believe that would take us to 11-1 at that point.
Yeah, I think that's right, Brian. It would hand Maple Grove their first loss of the season, and again a reminder: Maple Grove playing a little bit less than at 100% today with Tucker Fenton at down with COVID. In fact, a couple kids, starters down with COVID today, and so that's unfortunate. I think both, I would imagine both coaching staffs would like to play each other at 100%. What I find a little bit interesting, Brian, is and I don't know if this was the plan going in, but I just find it interesting that we more than likely do not see Gabe today. Yep. And it's almost like you don't have your ace, I'm not going to have my ace type of thing. Now, Gabe obviously is playing in the game and has been important to the game, but it's just curious if it'd be just a little side nugget, I guess, there.
As the ultimate chess match, gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it, the baseball naturally brings about. Here we go. Bottom of the 7th inning, CSP, we believe, with a 9-1 lead over the home team Maple Grove Red Dragons. They're going to bring up big Colton McCall, and he's going to make his way to the plate. Trent Burchanowski remains on the mound for the Wolfpack. And there's strike 1 delivered to Colton.
No changes defensively for CSP, so staying intact from what we had in the 6th inning.
There's that breaking ball. High bouncer over to Curtis at third. Fields are really good. Bryce with the long stretch over at first base. Retires McCall on a nice play from Curtis over to Bryce. Bryce stretching that whole 6'5" frame of his out as far as he could get it.
Yeah, we can only hope that becomes 6'5" frame, right, Brian?
But anyway, makes the stretch, which I believe might have been almost the difference because that was a pretty dribbler, and Curtis made a nice throw. And there's a hard hit ball right up the middle. That's going to make its way out to center field for Verbowski. First pitch swinging, and he's going to have himself a single.
Yeah, first hit for the day for Verbowski, so gets him on base and gets a base runner here, a much-needed base runner for Maple Grove here in the bottom of the 7th, down 9-1.
And that's going to bring Connor Regal to the bat. Connor flew out to center field and walked in the 5th inning. So we'll see what Connor's got. Once again, 1 down here, bottom of the 7th. runner at first base via a single. And Connor Regal at the bat. And Connor hits one to the gap in left center field. And that's going to be another single. Gabe Roth quickly over from his center field position. Throws a rifle back to Tate Catton. He's behind the runner at second. About got him sleeping. But everybody's safe, and that's another single. And that's going to put runners at first and second with one down now with the number 9 batter, Adam Brisky, to the plate.
Yeah, it looks like CSP is going to have a pitching change here. Good job by Trent going what ultimately ended up being 3 and a third.
Yep.
So Bryce pitched 3 innings. Trent came in and pitched 3 innings, and it looks like Gabe's going to come to the mound and try to finish this off for CSP.
Once again, one down here, and Gabe enters the game with 2 runners on first and second. One down here. It's going to be the bottom of the 7th inning, and we're going to cut away while Gabe works his shoulder a little bit loose. We'll be back.
Cast on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance. With offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown, J. Edwards Insurance is an independent insurance service providing auto, business, farm, and homeowners insurance. We treat you like family. Online at jedwardsinsurance.com. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957. Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
In baseball, these are the moments that bring us to our feet.
But the most important moment happens when we all stand together.
United for a great cause.
So join Major League Baseball and stand up to cancer
as we stand in honor of all loved ones affected by this disease.
I'm Jordana Brewster.
I'm Candace Patton.
Joe Manganello.
I'm Matt Damon, and cancer has in some way touched all of us.
Visit standuptocancer.org/MLB.
Stand up with us.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball play-by-play is provided in part by Damon Energy. Since 2019, Damon Energy has been serving southwestern New York and northwestern Pennsylvania with energy solutions for your residential and business needs. The Power Perks Rewards program as well as the Free Energy program are available for both electricity and natural gas. More info at damonenergy.com or phone Craig at 716-490-7694. Best of luck to the Wolfpack from Damon Energy.
Okay, as we get ready to return to live action here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Gabe Ross got himself warmed up and enters the game here with 2 runners on, first and second base. One down here, bottom of the 7th, and number 9 batter Adam Brisky to the plate.
Yeah, CSP Coach Moreno, any sign of trouble here in the 7th, he immediately went to Gabe, and it's a nice tool to have in the toolbox is to bring one of the top players, pitchers and players in the county in to try to finish off the game.
As that one makes its way to the backstop, I think it missed the player.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to be moved up a base, so that's going to be a wild pitch. Moves the runners up to second and third now. They got 2 runners in scoring position. Still one down, 1-1 to the batter. Gabe, I heard the coaching staff say just throw it. Looks like he was really trying to haul it there.
A little amped up.
And there's a strike call on the low outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's just a nasty spot for that fastball.
It is, and that Maple Grove's coach didn't particularly like it, but that's been a strike all day long. He's been very consistent in that spot.
Foul ball to the fence over here on the in front of the CSP dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brisky, fighting him off. There's a nasty curveball that misses on the outside. 2-2 now. Well, I think you just come right back with that heater.
Yeah, I agree, Brian. I just don't think, particularly if you can put it in that spot that's been getting called a strike, it's just an almost unhittable pitch.
And there's the one down the middle. Couldn't catch up with it for Adam Brisky, and that's going to be a strikeout swinging for the second out of the inning. 2 down now as we come to the top of the order. And that does not look like Jake Valancourt. I think we have a substitution. Strike one for Gabe for the Jake 23. There's no additional. Number 23 might be one of the call-ups for today, to be honest with you.
Yep. No number 3 in the program today, Brian.
Quickly up Gabe, 0-2 now. 2 down. Bottom of the 7th inning. And a swing and strike 3. And that's going to do it. That's a big Wolfpack victory today over a little bit of a depleted Maple Grove squad. You just kind of hate to see that stupid COVID rearing its ugly head again, but unfortunately that's what we were kind of dealing with. And so as we go, I believe it's a 9-1 victory over CSP over Maple Grove. Catcher for Maple Grove's got a nice pack on his head and a butterfly holding the wound closed. And we'll see if the CSP team comes over and gives them a little pat on the butt, which they do. And Egan's a pretty good kid. So from what I could tell, that was a close play at the plate, Kyle. I saw no malicious intent by anybody.
No, I actually think the ball, and Brian, that ball was coming in from left field.
Yep.
Sun right in that. My guess is, and this is just a guess on my part, is that ball got caught in the sun. He could not see it. And anytime there's a play at the plate, that catcher's throwing his mask off, so he didn't have his mask on. And my guess is that just caught the sun and hit him in the head. And to your point, I know his father. I know his father not well, but I know him and have had coached against him. And he's a really nice guy, and all their kids have been are real nice kids. So hopefully he'll be back for Maple Grove their next game. But nice win here for CSP today, 9-1 over the undefeated Maple Grove Red Dragons, no longer undefeated. And this is a nice win for CSP as we get. As we come to the last week of the regular season next week. I think we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, Brian.
Can we squeeze one in on Wednesday, too?
I thought so. If I looked at my calendar today, I think we're
I know we were at Silver Creek on Monday, home for Frewsburg on Tuesday, and at Brockton on Thursday.
I think Chautauqua Lake might have snuck in there on
Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
That very well could be, because we are scheduled to play them at some point.
Yes, that's a Chautauqua Lake CSP at Chautauqua Lake.
Chautauqua Lake. Yep.
4 games in 4 days next week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it will. This is a time when it's beneficial to have all the pitchers that we have, and we discovered Tate Catney's yesterday, who pitched a no-hitter through 5 innings, and although he struggled a little bit tonight, freshman Bryce Hinsdale got us through 3 innings and only gave up 1 run, and I don't know how the official scoring
we'll
works.
Take that struggle anytime. So, the bats got going a little bit today. Of course, like we said multiple times, the Red Dragons were a little depleted. 2 of their star players were out. But nonetheless, we still have a baseball game and a season to complete here. So on we go. 10-1 now for the Wolfpack, and we turn the page to next week. We got the Silver Creek team, which I absolutely know nothing about.
Nope.
And then we got Frewsburg, Chautauqua Lake, Brockton, and that's going to do it for the regular season here. The weather looks pretty favorable for next week. I know the Clymer kids got prom tomorrow. So I
was going to say, Brian, prom tomorrow for Clymer, so hope everybody enjoys themselves and stays safe. And no
problem.
So we're going to sign off here. Again, 9-1 CSP victory over Maple Grove here in Bemis. For Brian Willink, I'm Kyle Hinsdale. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you again on Monday night in Silver Creek. Thanks.
Okay, we're going to do it, and we're done from here.
I signed off already, Brian.
So we're done. I was talking to the visiting catcher. So have a nice night, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
Listening to this broadcast of CSP Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 989 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is presented by J. Edwards Insurance in Panama and Jamestown, by Damon Energy. Damon